My guest this afternoon is Lisa Doyle from the VA Acquisition Academy. And congratulations on being named to the Learning 100, Lisa, you and your group.
Thank you very much.
Could we start off, why don't you tell me a little bit about the VA Acquisition Department or unit or whatever it is? Is that sort of like the Defense Acquisition?
It is.
Same type of deal? Go ahead.
Very similar. So the Department of Veterans Affairs is the second largest cabinet level agency, second to DOD. We have over 300,000 employees, and I am responsible for training about 40,000 of them. I'm responsible for training the acquisition team. And the acquisition team consists of our contracting professionals, our program and project managers, our contracting officer technical representatives, as well as our interns, our next generation of acquisition professionals. And then I will be opening up 2 new schools, our facilities management school to train our facility managers, and our supply chain management school to train our logisticians.
So how many schools is that total?
We have 5 schools in the academy.
Okay.
And the academy is a bricks and mortar facility consisting of 16 classrooms, 13 breakout rooms, 3 distance learning laboratories, and space for 200 employees to work.
On the average, how much of your learning would you say is distance learning? How much is face-to-face in class?
For right now, the majority of our learning is face-to-face. However, we are beginning to integrate a lot of distance learning into our model and working with simulations and some experiential learning through distance learning.
Now that sounds like there's a lot of innovation going on at the VA Acquisition Academy. Could you explain some of what else you're doing?
Of course. So we're all about innovation and being creative, and that starts with our space. So when I was designing the space, I was lucky enough to have an empty building. So when I worked with the architect and the furniture designer, I said, think of a typical government facility and close your eyes, and we're going to do the opposite. So when we designed the space, we used a lot of color, a lot of different shapes, not just square walls, many rounded walls and many football-shaped rooms. We used a lot of different fabrics, different textures, different glass, a lot of different wood, and different kinds of furniture than you're used to seeing. So the space in and of itself is innovative and creative. Then we have a holistic learning approach in which we don't just pay attention to the technical skills, which are very important, of course, but we take a holistic approach to developing the entire person. So all of those interpersonal skills that are so important to an employee's success. So we teach them communication skills. We teach them about their own personality through giving them the Myers-Briggs, the FIRO-B, and the DISC assessment to understand themselves, but also how to interact in a team, interact collaboratively, innovatively, and synergistically.
Now you're training people, educating people from all over the country, right?
I am.
Are you bringing them physically into the Washington, D.C. area?
We are, for the most part. However, it's important for them to come to the academy, to experience the space, as I mentioned, our culture, which is about continuous learning and improvement. But it's also about meeting each other. Mm-hmm. This is a place where they can come from across the U.S. and meet each other, their colleagues, and understand that their colleagues are facing the same challenges they are. And rather than working in silos and reinventing the wheel, they can share with each other their best practices. So you know that we have VA medical centers and hospitals from across the U.S. And so those employees who are working in them are coming together for the first time in one bricks and mortar facility. Now, I can't handle all of my throughput at the academy, so I do train regionally as well, where I'll actually go out to them and deliver a class.
It sounds like, though, the focus really is growing on collaboration, getting a back and forth type cooperation. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's all about the team. No longer are we just individuals as productive resources, that there is power to the team and power to the cohort.
Are you doing your training in very many real technical skills or knowledge, or is it is it more developmental type stuff?
It's both. So I have an internship school where we're working on developmental skills. So of course that's going to be their first exposure to their technical competencies that they're learning. But then we're also teaching people who are in the senior level positions who have an expertise in their subject matter area, and so they need other types of skills. They need their continuous learning and continuous awareness of what's going on in their field. So we train in all areas of both technical competence and then again those holistic skills, those interpersonal skills, leadership skills as well, communication and the like.
The whole point then, it sounds like the whole point of the VA Acquisition Academy is efficiency, right?
Well, our whole point for our existence, our reason for being, I call it our raison d'etre, is to change behavior and improve performance. So our mission at the VA, we have a very noble mission, and I'm honored to serve for these veterans, but our mission is to care for those who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and his orphan. So really our mission is to care for the veteran. And so what we train on is how to buy the goods and services that they need for their care effectively and efficiently. And so our learning interventions are meant to change behavior and improve performance across the VA.
In the next couple of years, where do you see you heading with the learning program at the VA Acquisition Academy?
So in the next year, we have nowhere to go but up. I just finished phase 3 of our build out. So we finished our first building of 80,000 square feet. And so I'm looking at other areas where we can expand and where it makes good business sense to expand. So I'm looking in this area, and right now the academy is located in Frederick, Maryland. But I'm also looking at, do I need to open up an academy west, on the West Coast, or shall I expand in my existing space? Because my ability to handle our throughput is limited by my 16 classrooms. And then I go out in the field and train. So we'll see what happens in the future. We'll likely be opening up more schools. We want to have a broader base to train, make more of a meaningful difference, and change behavior and improve performance.
One more question, that is, what kind of an input are you getting from your employees, from the people that you are going through the training regime? Has it been good so far?
I think our employees are very pleased with having an academy that is specifically there for their learning and growth. So we're there for their care and feeding. Things that are important I write on the wall. So the first thing they see when they enter the academy is that the VA Acquisition Academy is dedicated to developing our professional workforce. So my point in writing that on the wall for them is to help them understand that we're here for them, to meet their training needs. But it's not just about check-the-block training. It's about helping them become better at what they do and helping us serve the veteran better. And so what we're training them on is skills that are mandated for them and credentials for them to have, but we're also training them on areas where they have identified that they'd like to improve in, like leadership, for example. So it is for them, and I think they appreciate that we've invested in them, and I believe it's a great retention factor for us as well.
Well, thank you for spending time with us this afternoon, Lisa.
Of course.
Appreciate it. And congratulations on the Academy winning, being named one of the Learning 100 leaders.
Thank you.